Sublime magnificence.
Guys, you know who it is. What's going on? What is? Hey guys, you know who it is. What's going on? When it's happening? Where it's at? And why we're here today? How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis Feo Grande on YouTube, back with another episode of This Guy Hasn't Seen. And as usual, I am joined by my co-host and running mate, one of my best friends in the world, El Director himself, Bill Smith.
Hey Omar, thank you for having me back. As always, love being here, love doing this thing, trading these movies back and forth. One guy has seen it, the other one hasn't. We go through all the gamut of everything possible. We try to touch every little thing possible. We have had as old of movies
As Casablanca. That's an old
Casablanca,
movie.
as recent of movies as things that are in theaters as we are talking about them on YouTube.
Indeed.
Um, as well as every genre possible, and not just movies, sometimes TV shows, sometimes performances of the athletic variety, of the musical variety, of the entertainment variety. Uh, if it can be documented and then watched with eyeballs, we can trade it like property, like knowledge and memory is currency in this game of This Guy Hasn't Seen. um, uh, I brought Jackass for forever.
Yes, indeed. Jackass Forever. You know who it is. It's from 2022, if I remember correctly.
From 2022, after 11 years, the Jackass crew is back for another crusade. It is directed by Jeff Tremaine. It is written. IMDb gives writing credits to Jason Weeman Acuna and Derek Beckles and JP Blackman.
None of
Um,
the ones I thought it would be giving writing credits to.
and it stars Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, and Chris Pontius.
See, I would have assumed one of them would have gotten the writing credits, but I'm happy the others do.
I think they're all kind of writers.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Um,
I'm happy the other ones are getting like recognized in the credits and
yeah,
stuff. Because usually when you hear Jackass, you just hear the Johnny Knoxville show.
right.
Now, speaking of the
Uh,
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what is your relationship to
Yeah.
Jackass?
Well, I, like many others, was a target demographic for the show when it came out. And all of and that was also kind of the in thing at the time. Very fun stuff to be an idiot with a camera and just do stupid things. So big fan of doing stuff like that. I watched the first three movies. I think the third one had a little bit too much like puking and gross out humor things, or one of them did that made me go, yeah. When I heard the fourth one was coming out, I was like, wait to hear the pulse of the land. And then I heard a little, but didn't end up watching it. I know someone tried to put it on at work, and someone immediately stopped it because of the opening. I had heard what the opening was, but I didn't know. I didn't know what the opening was. I
Hmm.
just know that someone tried to put on. They're like, "Yeah, Jackass, that's got funny stuff, right?" And a guy who had seen it was like, "Oh no, 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 that is not work safe at all." So, and
Lots
then
of
I just didn't
penises.
watch it. Lots of dicks,
Yeah.
lots of dicks.
Lots of
Um,
dicks. Yeah, I would say by three, I would agree with that. The vomit, poo, and penis variety
yeah,
certainly took a jump up. Because I mean, if you think about it, like the like hidden camera kind of stuff had to shrink more and more as everybody started to become recognizable. Like
Mm-hmm.
first it was like, all right, well Johnny can't go out anymore. And then it became like Johnny, Bam, Steve-O, Chris, and now it's basically anybody that's been
Any of
attached
them.
to Jackass. Um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, so yeah, I definitely think three, and obviously, of course, this one, Lotta, Lotta Peter,
Yeah.
definitely this one. I think this one is a fact. Um, the most penises on film while still maintaining an R rating
In general,
that has ever existed. Yeah.
I would not be surprised. There
Because
was
that's a pretty hard line. That's a weird hard line, weird like sexist line, not sexist, but just like gendered line as far as ratings go. Is like penises are way more heavily regulated and usually rated harsher than showing a vagina on film. Um, uh, so yeah, it's just a
I
weird thing like
can't
that. Like
I can't
we can show our nipples all day long. They can't show that. But then our package is like way more like no. I but it makes me curious if that's really just starting with guys who are like, yeah, we don't want to, yeah, that's bad. Nobody would, yeah, no, yeah, we can't show that.
a
I
lot of
also
it
just don't want my stuff on. I don't. I
a
want to
lot
get
of
that.
a lot of it is probably guys not wanting their own out there because the variety especially in today's day and age leads to, speculation about other things and your pride is attached to all of that. So there's probably that. There's also a lot of the guys or a lot of the people watching movies back in the day were dudes and they weren't trying to look at dicks, at least on average. Um, and then the third, like like especially if it's all it's gonna do is sit there and be flaccid because obviously you can't have it be erect. If it's just gonna be the little floating around, it's
Mhm.
like I don't know that many women that just want to see a fucking like, oh, look at his like 2 inch flaccid just sitting there. Like that's still gross. Like
Mm-hmm.
dicks are also just more associated with being gross than vaginas are.
Well, it's an itty and an outie. An outie is always grosser than an innie. Like,
Exactly.
I can't believe we're on this topic, but I mean,
And
it
dicks
is
have balls
Jackass. So,
involved. The balls are there too, and
yeah,
it's
its
just like,
exterior, it gets all wrinkly and
yeah,
weird and
it's
shriveled.
not an
It
aesthetically
changes
appealing
size
organ.
based on the temperature and
Yeah,
moisture in the air.
yeah. You take an organ with like two specific purposes, and you choose its least aesthetic form and try to shove it in people's faces. People are going to be like, "Ew, I don't want that on my screen." A vagina is like, "Ooh, a vagina, the womb, the source of life."
Ooh, see, that's like that's just
Even women,
because
even
that's because you have a sexual preference.
no, I'm saying like, but that's the thing, especially with tits. We want to talk about tits. They even did this shit on MythBusters, like people with big tits getting more tips, and it wasn't even just from dudes; it was from women too. People just like tits. Like, how many times have you seen women talking to each other, and then they'd be like, "Oh, girl, boobs. I wish I had boobs like yours. Damn. Oh, look at my. Especially when they start getting drunk at parties. Like they start
Hmm.
going a lot more talking about other women's bodies and stuff than the
Well, I mean,
dudes are.
have you ever
And I'm
watched
not saying there's anything
have you
wrong with it,
ever
people.
well
I'm
the same
just.
works the other way too. Like have you ever seen a group of like really fit guys hanging out together in a group casually? Like they are men to men are always more apt to be like, dude, you've been work like, dude, nice. Like
Oh
I see
yeah,
those traps going on. Nice, man. Yeah, you got it going
but
on.
as we stated a couple videos ago, women apparently aren't into that.
Now hold on. I said that they are like obviously you're going to like and like even just biologically you're gonna like you're gonna want a healthy mate and all of that and be fit. I'm just saying, my argument there was there gets to a point where the impression I've gotten from women I know that once you get to a certain mass size, it's like
Yeah.
you're freak show. You're
Yeah.
and like that's the harshest words I can say, but like that's like you are on like a sideshow level of like,
Oh,
my God.
very much
Like it's hard
agreed.
to look at you for a long time.
Very, very much agreed. I mean, hell, to be fair, I like me women who are in shape, but there is a limit. There's a limit to where, okay, that's too much muscle. Like, so I get it.
Like
Um,
when The Rock was named sexiest man alive, the only discourse I saw online was, "Huh?" Other than like the obvious false platitudes of
yeah.
like fellow celebrity things of just like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, blah, or shit like that, or like fake accounts and shit, or are people obviously doing fake things for engagement. The main discourse I saw was just like, no,
Yeah. I
ugh.
just think when it comes to pure
What happened to
aesthetics,
Ryan Reynolds or Chris Evans or
I just think when
Idris
it
Elba?
I just think when it comes to pure aesthetics and not even just like sexualism, I just think women on average are objectively more aesthetically pleasing than men. Like what people would rather look at a woman than a man because the margin of variety or your chances of enjoying what you're looking at are a lot higher if it's a woman than a dude.
hmm
Like the ugliest dude is always gonna be uglier than the ugliest chick, and the hottest dude is always going to look worse than the hottest chick. That's all
Right,
I'm
but
saying.
we're not tuning into Jackass for
No,
the
I'm not tuning into
for
Jackass
the
for
beauty
penises.
of the product. Yeah.
I'm not tuning into it for penises either.
Oh, then I'm sorry. Because that's what you were supposed to tune in for. According to the creators of this film.
Anyway, Jackass, yes, idiots with cameras doing stuff, hurting themselves. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves them for years. They stuntmen that do pranks on other people and each other and hurt themselves for our entertainment. It is a tale as old as time. People getting the old Schadenfreude, ha ha, happiness at the misfortune of others. Look at this dude. He got hit in the nuts. That's hilarious. And so that's what I'm expecting in the movie. More stunts, more stuff. Did not expect this much. Says the God. Maybe there would be like one or two because it is Jackass, and I did see the third one. So I'm like, yeah, that's probably going to be involved.
hmm
But I was like, well, maybe it's not going to be as bad. Maybe because they are older now.
Less dildo play. I feel like there was a lot of dildo play
Maybe there was.
in Jackass 3.
Jackass 3 came out, what, 15 years ago now? So maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, yeah, if it came out in 2010, I probably saw that in theaters in St. Louis with if not you and the crew, then with like Super Jazz and Big Bro Ibn. I feel like I saw it in the theaters. Anyway, um yeah, so getting into the movie, we have that opening scene, one of my least like I like the concept, the people running from, Godzilla parody. Haha. But it's a
You just
literal
don't
dick
like
monster.
you don't like looking at dicks.
I don't. I don't. I tried to for a second I was like, let me see so because obviously this is just a series of skits. So I was like, let me just put them in least favorite as it go, and then eventually I realized everything in the least favorite was a dick skit. It was the literal dick monster at the beginning. Like
Maybe something to talk to a therapist about.
what? About not wanting to see dicks on the screen?
Well, yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like they're not going to hurt you.
No,
They won't cause you pain.
no.
They
I
won't hurt
just
your eyeballs. They won't turn you gay. Like
No, that's not it either. It's just I also just don't want to see it. It's one of those things. It's like, ah,
Okay.
haha, I can laugh. Some of the scenes were funny, took a speed. Like I said, dude gets it in the nuts. Ha ha ha.
Hmm.
Dopamine just like anybody. So, like you take a speed bag or you make somebody's nuts a speed bag. That's funny. I don't really need to zoom in of the nuts getting punched like a speed bag, but
Oh
it's
man, but
there.
but you
But no,
gotta
it looks.
you gotta see the individual gloves hitting the individual testicles and them rebounding at
Yeah,
an
no, no, it looks
equal rate.
super painful.
You gotta see
Yeah, no,
that.
oh, oh no, no, no. Trust me, I saw it. I saw it. I saw the dick bees. I saw, I
Well,
saw
yeah, there you
the
barely see any dick. You barely see any dick.
yeah,
Now the dick ping pong.
the dick paddleball shit.
That's a lot of dick.
Yeah, the fucking squeeze his dick in two pieces of glass and
That's
play
insane.
paddleball
I
with it.
didn't know a dick could do that.
I didn't either, but that dude is weird.
That got so flat.
Yeah,
That got so flat.
that dude made a lot of jokes about his junk throughout the movie too. Pontius, I'm pretty sure that was.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he's a weird dude. And I'm not saying anything against him. He could be a weird dude, but he's a weird dude.
Uh-huh.
Like even
Yeah.
for the Jackass people, like the Jackass has Steve-O, and Pontius manages to be the weird one. I don't know how that happens, but that's just how I feel. I don't dislike Pontius. He's just the weird one.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, he's party boy. I mean,
I
he's always been that weird sexual,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's always
effeminate
yeah, that's always been his
kind
thing.
of guy.
So that's
Yeah.
always been his thing. So if anyone was gonna squeeze his dick between two pieces of glass and use it as a paddle ball, yeah, that's a Pontius skit.
So weird. So weird. Yeah,
Just like if anyone
I
was
did
gonna
not
get
know
their
a
dick
dick could
covered
do
in
that.
bees and stung, it was gonna be Steve-O. I think that's
Uh,
like literally the like levels of like jackassery.
yeah.
No.
Um,
Anyway, there were some
I,
good skits in here
like
too.
I'll tell you, like things that I actively don't like. Um, uh, not the penis ones. It's the like put bits of food under clothing and have animal come out.
Buzzard nuts, I had that on my least favorite as
The
well.
vulture and the
And the bear?
although Aaron's reactions were very comical, I don't love that. I don't like that
No.
scene at all. I feel like that is one of the most dangerous things they've ever done.
That scene,
And that's
that's
kind of insane.
that scene, there are probably many, especially if I go back and watch, but especially in this movie, that is one scene that would like make me just go like, yeah, I can't be friends with these people. The fact that they would
Oh
do
yeah,
that to
no,
me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The fact that
Yeah,
they
I
would do
cannot,
that to
yeah.
me, like it's one thing to be like, aha, pranks. I fucking put a soccer ball in a judge machine as you came out the door. But this other one is like, that's a literal bear. And you put salmon under his nuts for the bear to eat. And then you tuck some meat in a belt by his stomach.
Yeah, I don't care how fucking trained that bear is. I don't care how trained that bear is. That's
And the guy
insane.
did have to go in
That's
there. At one point,
insane.
he's
Yeah, he's
like,
like, I gotta go in there now.
I gotta go in there. He's going to
Um,
keep digging because he started licking at the honey because they covered him in honey and shit.
right. Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
like the pig semen. The like
that
making the
was
dude
fucked
drink
up.
the pig semen or
He did
covering
that
him.
by choice.
Oh no, sorry. Pontius drank it. Other dude had it dumped on him, and I don't
Yeah, the
like that.
slow motion of the big ass droplet going directly
Yeah,
onto his tongue.
yeah. Like that I don't like because at least that
Hmm.
Pontius. See, you talking about Pontius drinking it? Yeah, that's what I mean. Pontius is the weird one. He just oh fake semen.
Because it was a callback from, I think maybe movie two, or it
Mhm.
might have even been the first movie.
He did say later in the scene, it's like I did it with a horse. I'm doing it with a pig.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He
There are
did
a
it
lot of
with
callback skits,
did it
which
with
is
the
cool.
horse and then had the same line of like, yep, that's semen.
Mhm.
Um, uh, yeah, it's yeah, Pontius is a weirdo. Dave England, who's the guy who gets the semen dumped on him.
Uh-huh.
He for a long time in this series, maybe his entirety of his involvement in the show and the movies, I always feel bad for him the most. Something about his reactions makes me feel the worst.
Yeah, he
Like I don't know
definitely
why
has a
Aaron,
very
who always gets fucking murdered in
yeah,
these
that
movies.
was gonna be my pick for this movie specifically is Aaron, especially with the bear. Because it's like, what the fuck? The bear and then the cup test, and then the constantly just going like when they had the boxer, like the so I guess that's the thing. It's like shit like the cup test. One, classic Jackass skit. Two,
hmm
yeah, it's someone getting in hitting the nuts. They zoom in, you still zoom in and stuff, but they're hitting the fucking cup. I don't need to see. That's what I'm saying. Like you can show like the impact without showing the impact or whatever. Um,
But that one that you're talking
it
about is
still
all
works. Oh
about
no, it's very
those
effective.
little
The scene
those
is
two
as
little
effective.
gloves
This,
individually hitting. That's why they make him go back in because I'm sure it's like because they were looking for that exact shot and they
yeah.
hadn't gotten it yet.
I thought half the time they made these people do it again was literally just to cause them more pain. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, yeah, we only punched you in the nuts for like 10
Oh
seconds.
yeah,
We gotta
I
punch you
mean
in the
you
nuts
can't run
longer.
this shit show without being a little bit of like a sadist.
Yeah.
There's
And masochists.
absolutely, yeah, there's absolutely a bone in your body that's like I want to cause pain to people.
You don't sign up for the fucking triple wedgie without having some kind of one of those to it. But no, there were a lot of like cool things in here. I like the Icarus skit with the wings and the ramp. I like the
Oh yeah,
musical
that's great. Yeah, he nailed like the fucking yeah, he nailed that.
the musical chair bags was funny.
Musical
Uh
chair bags was
Yes.
funny.
But again, the safety of those people, they didn't even think about Wee Man possibly popping backwards into the center.
Right, they
But
pull
then they
back
had
that
like metal
canvas.
pipes and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like,
It's all the
Jesus.
rigging for all the air compression shit for the airbags. And um I will admit I do love the blackout
The dark room
prank, the dark
with
room
the,
prank,
yeah. Yeah,
with
because
the
there wasn't
fakes.
an actual snake in
Right.
there.
Yeah. I mean, Johnny, I would like again, like, it's these guys are making a ton of money, hopefully. So like if I was actually in a position where, because like we both said earlier, like no way I'm friends with these people. But like when push comes to shove, if somebody walks up to me and what I would hope that these people are getting for this movie, plus residuals, every time it's involved in something,
Uh,
different. Um, uh, I, it would be hard to pass it up, but Johnny with those fucking tasers, you can fucking get the fuck out of here, bro. Like to just be constantly on guard with the tasers is bullshit. Is
yeah.
bullshit.
Like the one guy
Like
that got
I
tased
don't
and
know.
he's like, I
Is
had
there
one in
a
my
rule where
pocket.
you can't like nobody can start swinging? Because how do we never see anybody starting to throw punches? Because I feel like how did they obtain a group where like or is
That,
that part of they literally tell you they're like Johnny is going to shock you whenever he wants and he's able to do that and you can't do anything about it and if you do you'll be fired. Like
yeah.
is that the discussion?
I think it's maybe not to that degree, but more of a if you're on the set, everyone is fair game at all times for anything.
Right, but
Because
what
I've
does
heard
that
that
mean for
kind of
me doing
rule.
something? Okay, so I'm not throwing a punch, but
Can
what
you
if I
prank?
come tomorrow with something that's going to be equal, if not the same, as a taser gun?
I mean, they prank Johnny. He gets pranked the least, and I think that's fucked up. But then he also does shit like the bull thing, and it's like, okay, well, it's
Right.
not
Well,
that you don't want to be.
he will take everybody knows that he will take any hit.
Yeah, he will take. So that's the thing. It's one of those things where it's like I could come back tomorrow, but that's not really a threat. If anything, that's a threat. That's like a challenge to him to be like, well, I'm gonna get you even harder then. What is he gonna do if I come back to him with this? How's he gonna escalate this?
Yeah, like I was thinking about like Eric Andre. I'm shocked that Eric Andre didn't come preloaded with something against Johnny. Like
Yeah,
as just as a precautionary. Because he has developed his own fucking prank reputation. Um so yeah, I'm surprised it's just yeah, Johnny's a little bit of a bully in this one. Although he is always a bully, but maybe it's the we haven't really discussed it, and I don't know if you noticed it, the lack of Bam.
I noticed that.
Maybe it's the lack of Bam, and
Maybe.
Bam was kind of the antagonist to Johnny. Um but yeah,
Yeah, he was pretty unchecked this movie, at the very least. I just thinking of stuff in the past, I think. Well, the more I think about it, the more I think of moments of that Johnny did get like to him as well
hmm
was kind of like into older stuff. So it
yeah.
could have also just been one of those things where it's like, hey, Johnny's gonna do this stuff. Or maybe Johnny, though he agreed to take the bumps he did take in this movie, he did end up taking less than everybody else. So it could have been a thing where he probably can't slash shouldn't be. And he's like, hey, and so they're like, okay, well, fucking hate the fact that that's a taser, but given the next skit that's about to happen, or when did he actually, when, at what point during the filming did he break his arm and shit with the bull? You know, did that happen?
Right, did that limit his participation?
Hmm.
Yeah, the treadmill scene
Oh my
with the marching
goodness.
band, that's a segment that took Steve-O out for quite a while, I believe. That is going to be your only footage in the movie of Bam. Bam is very quietly and unspoken of one of those marching band members that jumps on the treadmill and gets wrecked. Um, it was during the filming of this movie that Bam had his most recent kind of public meltdown
Gotcha.
issues, returning drug and alcohol problems, allegedly, and and just
Demons.
didn't end up getting involved with this movie. Things got pretty bad between the Jackass camps and the BAM camps for quite a while. I don't
Hmm.
know where we stand currently. I hope one
Yeah.
day that's back in there because I don't know. I was always a
CKY.
CKY over Wild Boys
Hmm.
kind of dude. Um
Is Wild Boys what Johnny and folks was doing before they combined the two into
No,
Jackass?
no, that would have been like Big Brother
Okay.
magazine, like a skateboard magazine and video thing. But like Wild Boys is what Pontius and Steve-O started doing after
Okay.
Jackass, that Johnny would guest on quite often.
Yeah.
It was almost a Johnny, Steve-O, and Chris Pontius show. Uh, so it's kind of Jackass
It's
without the
Jackass minus
CKY guys.
Bam. Yeah. Jackass minus Bam. Wild Boys. All right. Jackass minus Bam. The Wild Boys. Um, yeah, but that explains that. I did like some of the new people. The their new Preston, the new fat guy on campus, Zach.
Yeah.
I liked him because he was pretty chill with just about everything.
hmm
Like I'm down to do whatever.
You
I
could
like
take a
the
hit, man.
yeah, he can take
Dude
some
could take a
hits.
fucking
Yeah,
hit.
that's what I'm saying. He'll do it. He'll just get right back up. I'm like, all right, good
Very
on you.
bouncy. Like
Yeah.
there's a secret. There's a secret in that poundage that he's got going on there.
Yeah, I like the black dude and his dad. I thought they were
Jasper and Black
Jasper,
Shark.
Black Shark. Yes, the Black Shark cracked me up because yeah, it was about exactly what I would have expected out of some dude being like, "I told my dad to come on the set. He didn't realize what's
hmm
going on." The fucking spider helmet thing. I also probably would be doing the same thing he did, where I just grab the dude like, if I fucking die, you're going with me. Especially if I'm an ex-con. Ah, nah. Get who's near me. You better get me the fuck out of this helmet now.
Yeah.
And I like how they just and to the whole point of poor Aaron, they just decide, yeah, we said the loser gets it, and and Aaron by winning this, you technically lose. Wait, what? Yep. He had the spider in his helmet. That means Aaron's the loser. So you get bit by the spider. I get bit anyway?
Yeah. 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 Um since this one came out, they have since released a Jackass 4.5, which they've been doing since the second one, because they just shoot so much
Mm,
stuff that they end up with a whole second movie. That the point fives always kind of end up being like half interview with the cast, half the remaining footage kind of
yeah.
things. Um, and in 4.5, I'm assuming it had to be left out because it's so long, to set it up and punchline it. But um they convince Black Shark, kicking and screaming, to participate in skydiving. And it is, I believe, the entire segment is on a lot of the best stuff from 4.5 is full
On
segments
YouTube.
on YouTube. um but they get him on the plane already, and so he's likely to probably do it, but it's funny just because he just like completely he like gets into this position and just like locks up. And his son is right here, and Johnny's right here, and he's just slowly like elbow pressing them back, and just like eyes closed and like mumbling to himself. Um, uh, but so they already get him up there, and then they simulate engine failure on the plane, and the pilot runs past them and jumps out and is the first one that jumps out of the plane. So not only are you skydiving for the first time in your life and you really didn't want to do it, but this movie is paying you a fuck ton of money and your son has convinced you to do it, yada yada yada. Now, now the now you're gonna die.
Yeah, this is why I empathize with Black Shark very much. Because I feel like some motherfucker would do that to me if I ever got into that. The only thing, because the only way I would skydive is if I'm getting paid to do it for a movie. I'd be scared as shit. And then a motherfucker wants to act like the engine's failing and jumping out the plane as the pilot. I would be, I would be very much, like a certain somebody on a Halloween night years ago in high school with the "you don't do that to peoples" and the "what the fuck were you thinking?" That definitely would be
Yeah,
me when all is said and done.
it's
I would land, I would get no enjoyment out of the skydive itself. The memory would not be a happy one for me. It would just be associated with anger or what the fuck did you motherfuckers do to me?
yeah, it's pretty incredible. It's pretty
But
incredible. He
but if
like
it someone had to
he
somebody else, I'd
scr
probably be laughing.
he screams at the top of his lungs like 95% of the way down until he starts praying.
Yeah,
And then he starts praying like really loudly, like he's scream praying. And I'm sorry, it's hilarious. Like,
yeah. No, I like I said, happening to somebody else, I'm laughing.
right.
Happening to me, oh, oh, oh.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
but yeah, I love Black Shark. I love Black Shark.
I like the what was it? The bicycle backhand where they smack the fuck out of Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
that's funny.
The yard sale toilet, exploding toilet, where I think that was England. Where just what the hell? Why would you even think to come out of here? Which they showed in the credit was also a callback to
Yeah, that's a
when he
callback there.
shat in a toilet at a store. Um, fucking. There's one other thing I
The other
saw. The
exploding toilet
exploding
on the exploding porta potty on Steve-O,
exploding porta potty. The
which in 4.5, they show that on that same day they also got Eric Andre with the same thing, and then they also got Aaron.
of course they got Aaron.
All three of them on exploding porta potties.
Um, fucking the underwater fart.
Shout out to Mythbusters.
That how to Mythbusters. They're like, let's light a fart underwater. Can we light a fart underwater? And then they think it's not working, and they're like, we got to get an open flame or something. And then it turns out that it did. It just built up so much fucking gas that the spark just exploded everything. I'm like, all right, that's kind of funny. I also like that the director dude when they did the electric the shock dance with Tyler the Creator.
Yeah.
They had the dude sit down on the fucking bench afterward. They had the director sit down on the bench and shocked him. And he looked like he was shocked that it hurt that much or something like that, or
Yeah.
that he got shocked that he got hit. I'm like, dude, you're the director. Did you not see what Tyler just went through? Did you not expect that to happen?
Yeah. Oh, another newbie. Shout out to Poopies.
Poopies, yes.
Poopies.
Poopies, the
Uh,
other newbie.
yeah,
And Eric
because
Manaka, is
he
he
jumped on in the credits. He jumped on the stool as well, and it looks like he also was like, "What the fuck? That was a lot. Like, you shouldn't have shocked Tyler Creator that much."
I do think it was funny that the way Tyler shocked him too. Like, oh, you sitting there? No, I've been
I
waiting for this
hate you.
shit. I hate you. The one girl looked like she wasn't gonna do much, but then she ended up doing a few things. Like she was part of the quiet game, and then she also did the scorpion Botox.
I've seen somebody talk about her where her biggest issue was that she was too much of a badass in most of the segments that she was in, and the guys are a bunch of pussies who like yelp and scream and jump and cry and like and they would do stuff to her and she'd be like, "Ow." That hurt.
She probably felt like there was probably some kind of like plan to be like that too.
Right, there's
You don't
some
want to be the only girl in the thing in these skits, and then you're crying harder than everybody else because then they'll be like, "Of course, that's what the girl did."
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah, I'm sure there's some level of her that's like, especially, I mean, you build it up in your head of like you're going into the, just like we've been talking about, you're going onto the Jackass set. Anything can fucking happen, and like
Hmm.
I gotta be a tough girl kind of attitude of it.
Prove I can hang with the boys.
But yeah, she is.
She is.
She's almost zero reaction on some of her like painful stuff.
Yeah, like the quiet game, she fucking aced that shit real quick. She had to like lick a taser or some shit, and no reaction.
The scorpion
The scorpion
Botox.
Botox.
Yeah.
She was more angry than in pain. Nah, she was she held it down. I like him. I like the one prank they did where he was the electrical dude hanging and had the lady helping him and just making things worse. And she's just like, I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know how this works. Well, clearly. And of course, the finale with the Vomitron, which I was ready to put in my least favorite things the second they named it the Vomitron and talked about the concept. I'm
But
like,
there wasn't a ton of vomit.
there wasn't a ton of vomit. That wasn't the point of the skit. It was a red herring because it was mainly them getting shot with paintballs
Hmm.
and explosions and stuff. And what's
Kind
his
of calling back the military aspect of the opening.
hmm So it ended up being a pretty cool finale to the movie. That also I probably would have been really pissed with the people with like the just getting shot with that many paintballs
Oh,
with no like
when
protective
they do the
gear.
reveal at the
The
end.
skin just
Uh,
looking like those motherfuckers that are into cupping,
I've
but
never
it's
been hit with
paintball
a real
welts.
paintball.
I have
I
not either.
Yeah, I but they it looks clearly from that
Yeah.
bruising, looks
Yeah.
like it hurts like a motherfucker.
Yeah. I don't go paintballing because I've seen what it does to
I'm
people's
sure there's
skin.
like there's pressure regulation there's probably a dial on those fucking guns on
Uh-huh.
how much force you're shooting out those paintballs with, and I'm sure if there is some sort of setting like that or different levels of guns to purchase,
Different types
these
of ammo.
these folks are buying
They're buying
the
the most painful ones.
they're buying the hardest paintballs that and they're buying the most powerful guns. Um,
Steve-O got shot in the dick.
so it might not be a great representation of like I'm going out paintballing this weekend, but I don't know. I don't know. And I'm a little scared to know.
Yeah. But no, that it was a the human ramp, that was a dangerous one to be starting to be with. Fucking fucking big ass dude on the motorcycle, new Preston Zach on the motorcycle trying to run up the ramp on these people. I like how the dude was like, "We're about to die," because yeah, I'd probably think the same thing too. Like, why am
Hmm.
I sitting here laying in a sandwich as a motorcycle's about to run over me with a dude that size riding said motorcycle? Nah, I'd be terrified. But I'd be terrified of a lot of these things. Like if I was strapped to a chair and you let a bear in the room. Anyway, I think we touched on a lot of the main standout shit from the movie, if not damn near every skit. Uh, yeah, Jackass forever. It was a Jackass movie. I enjoyed it. Could have dealt with with less dick on screen, but you know, it is what it is. It's Jackass. You come here expecting to see some shit that was gross anyway. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd rather see
I
dicks than
found a lot of
vomit, honestly, or
I,
poop.
I, yeah. I'm not a big gross out humor guy.
Yeah.
Poop,
Yeah. Same here.
vomit.
Same here.
Yeah. So, but did I sit here and laugh like the majority of the movie? Yeah, because it's Jackass. And again, I was
Honestly,
target demographic.
most of my favorite stuff is just classic, basic Jackass stuff.
Yeah,
Like the like hold on to this rope and a parachute opens and we have these big giant fans and you're just gonna get dragged. Or like
the
the human bike ramp
yeah
stuff in near the
the lube
beginning.
ramp.
Like the very basic OG Jackass kind of stuff. That's like my bread and butter.
Marching band for it to be the only skit that had Bam in it. That is a very Jackass skit.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense that Bam would be involved in that scene if they were doing a modern day Jackass movie.
Hmm.
So no, like there were that, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of it I enjoyed a lot more than I disliked. So, and the stuff I disliked was only like, I'd rather it not be in here, but it is, and it still has some funny aspects to it. Haha, he got stung in the dick by bees. I just don't need to see the close up of the stingers. But that's how you know how painful it is. True. So I get that they included that.
Yep.
Could have lived without it. That
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
oh, go ahead.
I'm yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun at times. I like the new cast members a lot. Um, couldn't tell you where my fandom and enjoyment of the product peaked. Maybe at number two. Um, I'm not positive on that.
It's
Uh,
probably a good spot, though.
but yeah, I will say, despite any potential character flaws or cancellation processes that he's either active under, never had, or currently rehabilitating from, I never know where we're at in these things. I do miss the presence of Bam Margera. as an OG Jackass fan, and as we already discussed, a CKY fan on top of that.
Hmm.
I do miss the presence and voice of like talk about writers and creators on the show. He was definitely you could tell when there was, especially with the original TV show in particular, you could always tell when it was like a Johnny and Jeff Tremaine produced segment and skit, and when it was like a the boys in Philadelphia, CKY
Hmm.
crew, Bam's crew making something. Like you could always tell. So I definitely missed his presence here in this. But otherwise, it's still enjoyable.
Oh
Like you
yeah.
said, lots of dicks, lots of poo, lots of vomit that I don't need. Um, yeah.
But yeah, I still enjoyed myself. So that was Jackass Forever, and it may be the last one we forever get, unless the new kids decide to get some more friends and make another one. Because the motherfucker's old now. So, what are we watching next week? Let's see.
Oh,
Really no.
what are we watching next week? We are going to watch 2025's Sinners.
Sinners. Sounds fun. I've heard good things.
Well,
What's up?
I will say just to only because you already preloaded off camera your awareness of said hype train, just to balance it out, I will already preload and spoil. It's fine. It's fine.
Fair enough. Well, we should.
Am I being truthful now? Am I being overtly
well,
negative
I remember the
to
entirety of our
balance your
conversation.
expectations?
Yeah, that's why
Who
I'm laughing.
knows?
Hence the laughter. I like the
Who
mystery.
knows?
That's all we can do. Because, hey, he could be trying to throw me off and really enjoy it, and it's a 10 out of 10 movie to him. And somehow it just doesn't agree with me because it's not as good as like Wanted or something. Anyway, you know,
It's a
I'm
great
not
film,
that way.
Wanted. It's a great film.
It is not a good
Those
film.
that like it have incredible taste.
They can, just not
And if anything, they should be the arbiters of taste.
maybe because of how unique their tastes are.
I
Only
mean,
they
for you to be able to recognize the beauty in Wanted, um, takes a powerful eye that should be studied.
superhuman even.
It's magical.
And if
It's
you want to see,
like a fine music.
yeah. And we learned about the Wanted and were exposed to its greatness on this channel. You can check that out
A
amongst
super
many others.
music.
Super music.
It's like a super music.
Super music. Indeed. So go
Yeah.
ahead and check that out, the Wanted review, as well as our other ones that we do on Tuesdays. We also have a show on Saturday called You Don't Watch Sports. Two guys, three topics. Help you sprinkle a little bit of information to your casual sports conversation. Being guided light through the sea that's casual sports talk. I also have a Twitter, Twitch, and Giotavi, Giotabi. Come on in, stop on I. Bill, you got anything to say with your dapper mustache? Nothing? All right. Well, folks, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week with Sinners. Adiosness.